Hey, what's up? Arvind Ram Krishna here, and welcome to Driven to Draw, where I teach you how to bring your sketches to life. So let's get started. So today we're going to be drawing the beast, and I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I feel like a beast. I feel like actually a pile of crap because I've got this terrible infection, and it's put me in a lousy mood. I'm really cranky and upset all the time, but then sometimes I look at the reality of the situation. It's like, you know what, my life is pretty good, so just stop your complaining and your bitching and just move on. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm moving on. Alright, so all I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start drawing some Disney characters, and I'm not particularly very good at it, but what I'm going to do is I've always been fascinated by how people, or how these cartoonists and illustrators who work for Disney create these characters. So I remember back in the 90s, I absolutely loved all the Disney movies. I really enjoyed the emotion, the some of the sort of the hidden jokes that were meant for adults. And what was really cool about these movies is that it wasn't just for children, but it was just for adults. I mean, everyone could enjoy these movies because they really had a lot of adult situations, and just the emotion that you got with these movies was just awesome. And I just loved the animation, just how smooth the animations were just phenomenal. And to think that people were drawing those just drawing these characters frame by frame. You're talking like 30 frames a second. They're drawing every single one of those pictures. So I decided to just give it a shot, and it's actually pretty difficult. I start off with just putting a little skeletal structure of just identifying what are the main elements of the character, and then I start to look at proportionally how big are each one of those elements, and then as I go through the drawing, I just start to for instance, if I look at the eyes and look at the eyebrows, how big are the eyebrows in relationship to the eyes, and then if I were to look at the overall shape or the height of the head, I'll start to measure, how many eyebrows, what's the height of the eyebrows, and then maybe I'll use that as a measurement to get the overall head size. And then I'll kind of break all those other things down break all those other elements down to those sizes. So I enjoy it. I mean, this is, again, it's experimentation. I really enjoy just kind of experimenting with different characters and just different subject matters, and I think that anyone who's trying to grow as an artist should be trying to do that. They should be trying to go over and above what their typical interests are, just so that they kind of learn something new. And that's really what everything is about, is how to learn more things. The other thing that I'm using here if you've seen some of my past videos, is just using Krita, which is free software. So that's also part of the experimentation process, because Krita, what I've really found is I really like a particular tool on Krita versus some of the other software I've been using, even Photoshop. So Photoshop, I love painting, but when I'm sketching something, I tell you, it's something about the pencil tool that's on Krita that's really pretty unique, because it just gives it that Prismacolor kind of feel to it. So I enjoy it. So I'm using a Fujitsu tablet. It is a T902 64-bit. I don't see any difference using this versus a Wacom tablet, and it's a 13.3 inch screen, and it's pretty cool stuff. You can pick them up for like $200. I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, that's insane. $200 for a tablet that you can draw on and just experiment with. So pretty rad there. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of color here, and it's kind of like using the multiply. I've just started another layer, and I'm just using a base coat of the color that I'm using from the reference photograph, or that I just see off the reference photograph, and I just start to block in all those colors and see what it looks like. And then from here, if I don't like it, I can go back and I can adjust. I can either darken up the value or make it a little bit lighter. But this is where, you know, the part of the experimentation is where it's kind of fun. You're trying to make it as accurate as you can, but it's okay if you're deviating a little bit from the original. I mean, you can come back in and maybe even do something a little bit completely different off of this. You can do an overlay sketch and then, you know, change up the character a little bit. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this particular video. It's a little short. If you like this sort of material, subscribe to my channel. I gotta get out of here. Take some Robitussin DM or something like that and hit the hay. So I'll see you here next week on Driven to Draw. Have a good one.